a family is planning a vacation in 2 years. They want to get a certificate of deposit for $1,500 to be cashed in for the trip, so they can take that trip. What is the minimum annual simple interest rate needed to have $2,100 for the vacation? Well, obviously the first thing you notice as you read this problem is that it's a simple interest problem. So I'm actually going to solve this one two different ways just to show you both, but you choose the way that makes most sense to you. First, since it's a simple interest problem and I've been using capital I equals capital P RT for so long, that's certainly the first thing that occurs to me. So if I can figure out what things are, I should be in good shape here. So if I look at this, the time is 2 years. They're going to start off with $1,500, so that's the principal. And they want to end up with $2,100, so they'll have enough to go on their vacation. Now that's capital A. Now this is really why I'm working it two different ways, because we have a formula for simple interest that involves capital A, the accumulated value. And I'm going to work it that way in a minute. But I want to just do it this way right now. The amount of interest is not given here, but it's easy to find, because if you started out with $1,500 and you ended up with $2,100 in that account, it's easy to see that the amount of interest that you earned is just what you ended up with in the account minus what you started with. So the amount of interest earned is going to be $2,100 minus $1,500, and you can do that on your calculator if you like, but it's simple enough. That's $600. So if I like, I can just plug $600 here for I, after I realized that I wasn't given to me, but I knew how to calculate it. The principal is $1,500. The interest rate is what we're solving for, so we'll call that R, and the time is 2 years. So I end up with 600 is equal to 1,500 times 2. Again, I can do that in my head. 3,000 R. And to solve for R, I will divide both sides by 3,000. So I'll end up with R is equal to 600 divided by 3,000. So if I take the calculator to do this, I will do 600 divided by 3,000 equal, and that comes out to be 0.2. Now remember, when we give our rates as a final answer, we want them back as a percent, so you move the decimal point 2 places to the right, and that comes out to 20%. So you would have to get 20% interest to make that much, make 2,100 end up in that account after just 2 years, and that's probably not going to happen. Now, I did say that there's another way to do this, so let's just look at that really quickly. We remember the answer we just got, just for reference, is 20%. I just want to keep that. We have a formula that gives you for simple interest that goes straight to A. I used in the solution 1, I calculated capital I and just used that. But if you wanted to use that formula that involved A, remember T is 2, P is 1,500, and A is 2,100. And you could just plug in now for A, and you'd have 2,100 equals 1,500 times 1 plus R is what we're looking for, and the time is T, so it'd be times 2. And of course, if you want to make that look a little more normal, you don't have to take an extra step for that, but I'm going to write that as 1 plus 2R. If you multiply out the parentheses, you'll get 2,100 equals 1,500 times 1 is 1,500, plus 1,500 times 2 is 3,000, and then you have the R. So if I subtract 15,000 from both sides, I'll end up with 600 equals 3000 R. Now that's the same as I got in the other calculation. You can see these two things are equivalent. And so to solve for R, I simply need to divide both sides by 3000. And that gives me R is 600 divided by 3000. I just did that a minute ago. I won't waste your time by doing it again. And but I do get the same thing, 0.2, which is 20%. So I guess I just wanted to show you that you could do that problem either way. You have a formula that takes you directly to the information you have in the problem, but you can also use it just using capital I equals PRT if you'll take the one extra step of calculating what capital I is by just saying capital A minus P, capital P.